Someone just asked me a question. Why should I consider switching my electricity company to Amber if I get a battery? So I want to address that in this video now. So why? Well, first of all, you don't have to. You could just stay with whatever your current electricity company is, or you could switch to another virtual power plant offer. However, Amber does work a little bit differently to other electricity companies uh, and other virtual power plants. So the way they work is they just give you access to the wholesale electricity pricing. Okay, so there's retail electricity pricing and there's wholesale electricity pricing. So retail is essentially what it does. The way it works is wholesale prices fluctuate every 5 minutes due to generators buying and selling the electricity and demand varying every 5 minutes real time. Whereas with what most electricity retailers have done conventionally is they have smoothed out those fluctuating wholesale rates with a retail rate that's marked up for a profit. Okay, so like the average wholesale rate might be, let's say, just for illustrative purposes, around 30 cents a kilowatt hour, but the wholesale maybe 25 cents a kilowatt hour, but the retail rates are typically around, on average, 35 or 40 cents a kilowatt hour. Okay, and they're increasing every year. Okay, so they're marking up the rates by about 10 cents or whatever on average. So that's the profit that they make to run the company, to pay their staff, and so forth, and make a profit and pay shareholders. Okay, so that's that with the retail companies. Wholesale with Amber, there's no markup. So the way they make money is just giving their customers a flat monthly subscription fee, making them pay that instead of the profit. So what that means is you just have a flat monthly rate each month, and then you don't your electricity company, if you choose the Amber, they're not profiting off of the electricity that you use from the grid, and they're not profiting off of how much you send back to the grid if you have solar and batteries. Okay, so what that means to you is that you can keep more money back in your pocket overall, especially if you have a sufficiently sized battery where you're pretty independent from getting electricity from the grid, pretty self-sufficient. So you're minimizing that dependence on getting that electricity from the grid, and you have more freedom to export it if you have sufficiently sized battery to export it back and make some money doing that, which helps to not only it helps to offset the daily supply charge of like $1 a day, and also the Amber subscription fee. Okay, and so some people with a battery have not only been able to eliminate their bills, they've been able to go to making money. For example, one customer that I helped, he was spending $250 a month before he got solar panels and batteries. And then we installed a 17.1 kilowatt solar panel system for him, about 34 panels, or 36. And he got a 19.2 kilowatt hour Sungrow battery, and with a 10 kilowatt inverter. And afterwards he on average over, so he's been spending $250 a month for the 6 months before he got his before he got his system, and then afterwards he was making about $150 a month on average. Okay, so spending $250 to making $150, that's $400 in monthly savings. $250 plus $150 is $400, right? So yeah, so he's not only like eliminating his bills but also making some money as well. Okay, so essentially in a nutshell, Amber just allows solars and battery owners to not only minimize their electricity bills, but even put them in credit. So where they're the one in control of their energy, where they're not dependent on electricity companies to get their electricity, and where they can save more and earn more compared to conventional electricity companies. See how that works? So if you have any questions about that, you can check out the Amber website, amber.com.au. I also have some more resources that I've put together that I can share. And if you go to bit.ly/A Amber dash advantages, there's a lot of information there. Yeah, or just an easier link is bit.ly/energy ownership. Those documents that document is a little bit outdated now. It needs some updating. I put that together when I was working at Electrifying Australia, but now I'm working at DSW Energy. Now, one thing to note with Amber is that the battery does need to be compatible. So they have a website on Amber's website. If you look up Amber SmartShift compatibility checker, you can put in any battery that you're considering into that to see if it's currently compatible or if it's in their waiting list for future integration. So there's a number of that they're currently compatible. They include popular brands like Tesla, Sungrow, GoodWe, Anchor, Sig Energy, and then Fox CSS, and a number of other brands. And then there's a number in the waiting list, including Solax. I should note that GoodWe is currently in the beta integration, so there might be some teething issues while that's sorted out, but overall it should work relatively well. And then once that's finished, it should be pretty much free of issues. So if you are interested in switching to Amber, I'll put my referral code link to Amber in the description. And if you use that to switch to them, you can get a $30 credit, and I'll also get a $30 credit. So we'll both benefit. In a nutshell, again, the reason why I like Amber is because you're not your electricity company isn't making a profit off of your usage and off of how much you export to the grid. So you just retain maximum savings if you have a battery and maximize your energy independence and control. Hope that helps.